Hi, it's Paul from PDH Sports, leading online racket specialist, and today I'm going to do a video on my 5 favourite squash drills. So I've got Will from PDH Sports, who's also going to be helping me doing the exercises. We're both going to be using the Technifibre Carboflex range, so we've got the 125 and the 125S, 2 of our best-selling and 2 of the most popular rackets on the market. And we're also going to be using and introducing the new Technifibre double yellow dot squash ball. So check out these 5 drills. Hopefully you'll find them useful. So these are my 5 favourites and drills that I really find sharpen me up for my matches. Okay, so drill number 1 is boast and drive, but as you see through this exercise, I will add a little bit of variation, which I find makes the exercise really come to life for me and helps with something very specific within the game, which I'll talk about as I go through the exercise. So the things I'm looking for here is trying to keep low from this point. So I'm low from the tee, dropping the hips down, then trying to strike down on the ball and movement back to the tee. So all the time with my length, trying to get the length to die away. So one of the things I find helps with my length is my follow through. So almost more important than my backswing is being able to hit through the ball. So the thing for Will here at the back is that he's really got to try and get the Boast to fade a bit more. So by the time it's bouncing twice, you're trying to get it to drop away into the side wall. So if anything, just taking a little bit of the pace off and trying to get it falling away. And then the other thing to look out for at the back is that you're not just running in a straight line, trying to make a bit of movement coming back up the court. Okay, so drill number 2 was the variation of the boast and drive, where I added the drop and then the drive. So each player has 2 shots. I think this is a great exercise because when you play your drop shots, you're trying to keep low and you're really trying to sort of put pressure on yourself and then make sure that you hit the length. And the same at the back, you've got an opportunity when the ball comes to really try and hit your length past yourself, find the back wall and then drop into the boast. It's such a good exercise for really trying to sort of iron out any issues with your length. Because from both shots, if you're finding your length dropping short, you're on to the next one and you go again and you must try and find the ball hitting behind the service box. So I'm going to start with a drop, then a drive. Will's going to hit a drive and then a boast. So again here, the important thing I'm trying to do is get nice and low. So I get low into the drop. I stay low and then I hit right through the ball. Again, so stay low, and hit right through the ball. And you're trying to play your best ever drop shot. You're trying to get the ball in tight and beat yourself. But then at the same time with your length, really trying to hit a full length back. If your ball is dropping short on a length like that, it's no good. You've really got to try and get the ball going long. So there's lots of detail you can really work. You can anticipate the boast, so I could become dropping back a little bit further, anticipating the boast, and then moving on to it. You really get a feel for being in a rally here. So nice and low and hit. Now for Will at the back, the thing is he knows this drive is coming, so his preparation has got to be good. And again, trying to get a feel for what he would actually be doing in a game. Because the most important thing when you're doing these routines is to try and make them realistic to a game. So, don't just stand in one spot and play the shot. Try and feel that you're in a point. So you hit your shot and move. Okay, so drill number 3 has a real focus on your movement. We're taking out the volley, but we're going to work on, again, focusing on the length and really trying to work on our movement patterns, getting nice and low into the corners and rotating around each other. So again, on this exercise, normally I would always want to encourage the volley, but this exercise, I like to get this to get my movement going. So I come up to the tee, let the ball go to move to the back. And this again is just a simple exercise to try and get the feeling of good movement and your length going. So really again, trying to work all the way back up to the tee and hitting a length. If you're both hitting a good length, this exercise will work better because of the rotation around each other. Again here, the things to look out for are, as I'm going back again, setting the racket early, dropping again, nice and low from the hips. So you drop down from here, hit. So everything's ready before you hit the ball. So you want to have the feeling that you've got time on the shot. So I've got loads of time, hit. That time comes from a really good preparation on the ball. So again here, on my backhand, so as I come back onto that tee, racket back early, get back early, hit. Like, as I said earlier, I'm all for, ordinarily, I'm going to really concentrate on taking the volley. But this is just a good exercise to get that feeling of movement. Okay, so exercise number 4 is going to be a progression of number 3, where again we're bringing the volley back into the exercise. It's so important, the volley, to control the tee, but we're opening up both sides of the court now, so we're hitting lengths on forehands and backhands. We're going to bring in some scoring, so you can play to 10 points. Anything that goes short of the halfway line, you lose the point. And again, really just trying to compete for the front of the court. So I always start this drill with a serve and return. Everything past the halfway line. So we're now introducing the volley as well. So again here, what this one becomes is more of a battle for actually trying to get on the volley. Right, so now we really want to try and encourage looking for the volley. We've done the exercises to get us moving, and we're now trying to compete for the tee. So Will's got to try and get me off the tee here and start trying to get that front of that court. As soon as you lose the tee, you're trying to take it back from each other. And really on this one, you can start to make it competitive, introducing your scores. So anything that goes short of the halfway line scores a point against. The other things to look out for here is the variation of pace. So, like when you're in trouble, try and use the height to lift. You can't always take the tee back with pace. And as you see there, like at the moment, I controlled that rally and I was really using the height on that front wall. So exercise number 5 is front v back. I've always really enjoyed this exercise. It brings a lot of value when you're at the front of the court, because I really think the person at the front of the court, the length should always be dominant. So if you're hitting good shots, you should win from the front of the court. But then that brings also the back of the court where you add a little bit of extra competitiveness, because The person at the back shouldn't win, but I always like to try and think that I can win. So again, this is a great exercise for working your length, but also working your racket skills and being able to move the ball to the front of the court. I start with a Boast. It's front v back, so I can play the ball in. I've just got to keep the ball in the front of the half. And Will's got to try and keep the ball and keep me dragged back. So the thing again here that I'm looking for is to try and open up the court, not make any mistakes, but like there when I get an opportunity, and here, trying to attack the front corners and get Will moving. And like here, I've got to be a little bit more defensive, take the ball back, and then I'm looking, okay, it's good recovery from Will. So I'm looking to attack on the volley and move him around the court. So again here, with this exercise, start with the Boast, but I'd really start to introduce scoring with this. So every time the person at the front leaves it short of the halfway line, they lose the point. And every time the person at the back makes a mistake, you lose a point. So really here, the front of the court should be the most dominant. So, you know, it's a great exercise to hone your skills on your short game, but you're really wanting to feel like your length is what's winning. So again here, the thing is, I know the ball is always going to go short, so I can really start to drop down low. I'm trying to get to the ball with plenty of options. So that means I'm trying to be at the side of the ball. Might want to then, at the side. Gives me that option to be able to show Will down there, and then maybe drop him to the side. So again, I'm showing the forehand straight, but then dropping on a cross. Okay, so there you have it. They're 5 of my favourite training drills to get you sharp and really focused on your game. Thanks to Will there for helping me with my practice. Thanks to Technifibre for providing the rackets. These, you know, if you are looking for an all-round racket that provides power, control, the carbon flexes are really worth taking a look. Technifibre ball, fantastic ball, consistent, seems to last a long time, and you know, no issues with the bounce or the speed there. I hope you find these drills useful. Put your feedback and comments down below. We're happy to try and answer any questions. And you know, again, hope you go and enjoy and use some of these drills to improve your game.